Why do people say Star Citizen isn't pay to win? Are they wrong? Is it not pay to win? What's going on here? Well, that's the topic I kind of want to dive into with this video, and surprisingly, it's not as black and white as I originally thought it was. I used to just dismiss people who said Star Citizen isn't pay to win as white knights just that were going to defend the game no matter what the cause. However, recently I've played some more pay to win games and I've kind of started to see their side a little bit. Recently I've been playing, or I was playing Lost Ark for a little bit, and Star Citizen and Lost Ark are both, I would say, pay to win games, but at the end of the day, they don't feel like they're in the same ballpark of pay to win. I still think Star Citizen is pay to win because I think any game that allows you to purchase progression or an advantage over other players is pay to win at the end of the day. But it almost feels like there needs to be different wording to describe certain pay to wins, because lumping every pay to win game in the same category just doesn't seem quite right, because some of them are really, really bad about pay to win and abusing players and all types of mechanics to try and get you to spend money. And so today I kind of want to break down the different pay to win aspects that I've seen in games over the years and talk about which one Star Citizen does and kind of how Star Citizen differentiates itself so it's not quite as bad pay to win. Now, for the first one I kind of want to talk about is infinitely pay to win. And what I mean by infinitely pay to win is that you pretty much can always get an upgrade by swiping your credit card. And so there's going to be systems in the game to encourage you to always want to swipe your credit card because you could always get more powerful. Now, I do think Star Citizen is kind of infinitely pay to win. I'm not really talking about the ships because you don't necessarily get infinitely more powerful off of get bigger ships because of stuff like that. Maybe that changes in the future when NPC crew comes in. I know there is a limit, but it might as well be infinite for how many ships and how high you can go in price. But there's also, you can buy unlimited credits, and where this doesn't feel as egregious of a pay to win mechanic as like Lost Ark, where you're buying honing material and you're literally getting more DPS over other people by spending money. In Star Citizen, you could potentially bankroll whatever you want if you got real world cash, and you could continually buy the credits to bankroll that. Now, the reason why I don't think Star Citizen's infinitely pay to win is that bad is because there's not a lot of systems in the game to push you to buying arcs. It's not like, hey, you can only earn this amount, credits. It's like, it doesn't limit you on credits that you can earn in game, so you have to buy credits. There's nothing like that, where something like Lost Ark with the honing materials, you are definitely limited on the amount of stuff that you can do in game per day without them being like, oh, well, you can't really earn any more of that today or this week or whatever, but you can buy it in the store. So I don't really see this as an extremely egregious infinite pay to win loop in Star Citizen. The next aspect of this is having items in game that can only be purchased with money. Now, you could put cosmetics in there, but that kind of is a negative on the game because it's just going to be like less cosmetics you can earn in game and stuff like that. But I wouldn't really say that's pay to win. But Star Citizen also does this a little bit with like having ships that you can only buy for a month or for a patch and not be able to buy in credits. Recently it's gotten worse because they haven't been introducing ships to buy it in game for credits. I'm not sure why that is, but it does have a little bit of this. But at the same time, if you're willing to wait and it being an alpha, it just doesn't seem that as big of a deal. And also the ships that they sell aren't always an upgrade or anything like that, so it doesn't feel like it's really trying to force you to buy ships if you don't want to. It's only a little incentive if you want to support the project. So I don't see that as being as bad as other games. They're like, oh, you can only get the super powerful weapon or whatever if you spend real world money. No, so again, I think Star Citizen does this, but it's not nearly as bad as other games. The next pay-to-win aspect, and this is one I think is particularly bad, is a lottery system in the game where you never know if you're going to get it. This can be loot boxes, or it can be a chance to fail upgrades, or something along those lines. Lost Ark does the chance to fail upgrade, so you could spend $20, $30 buying all the stuff that you need for one upgrade, and it has a very high chance of failing, so it's a gamble with that money, so you never know if it's actually going to pan out. Luckily, Star Citizen steers clear of this altogether, and there's not really any gambling, unless you want to say, hey, buying a concept ship is kind of gamble because you don't know if it's going to be good, but that seems like a pretty far stretch, and you can just melt down the money and spend it on a different ship that's actually is good if it ends up not being great. So I would say Star Citizen, good, all clear on this one. I'm glad they don't have anything like this in the game. That would become a serious issue for me playing Star Citizen if they did something like that. Another pay-to-win thing that these games do, that it's kind of like a malicious thing where they have so many different currencies in the game that you cannot tell how much money you're spending. when you're trying to do a certain thing. You're like, oh man, I need a bachelor's in science and math or something to figure out I want to get this one thing and I want to spend money to do it, but I have to convert it 4 or 5 times to get it to this thing, so I cannot tell how much money I'm spending. Star Citizen steers well clear of this as well, which is good, because I think this is kind of malicious, and it's kind of would be pushing the line with how they're funding the game, and it's a community funded game and stuff like that. Would be a bad look on them if they did that. Another aspect of pay to win is converting money to store currency, so that, and making it so that, hey, it's $6 to get this one item in the game, and you can only buy $5 or $10 chunks. Now Star Citizen steers clear of this, which is nice, because that would be really annoying. A lot of games do this just to get an extra couple dollars out of you if you only want certain things. The next one we're going to talk about real quick is pay to have an advantage. This is one that Star Citizen is guilty of. You can buy better ships than other people. Like, if my buddy starts with an Aurora and I bought a Gladius, I'm going to have a ship advantage to him. However, even though this sounds bad, it's really not as bad, because skill and meta knowledge is significantly more important at the end of the day than having a ship advantage. So if my buddy's more skilled than me and I got a better ship than him, he's probably going to win out the day. So it's not really game breaking. So it just doesn't feel as bad as other games where you can pay to have an advantage over people. Now there's also pay to progress, which is, this is buying the ships. And now I know Star Citizen is a sandbox game, but right now the majority of the content is earning ships. That's where most of your goals in game, or at least me and my friends, we're all in there earning. If we're in there earning money and doing stuff and working towards a goal, it's earning a ship. There really isn't, haven't given you a lot to do outside of earning ships in this game. Like, I understand you can bounty hunt, but you bounty hunt to make money to earn ships, all mining to earn ships, all this other stuff. It all revolves around earning ships currently. There's not really much else to do in the game besides watch your credits go up and buy ships. So when you're able to buy ships, you're cutting out a lot of progression and a lot of reason to play the game. However, even though this is right now in the current state of Star Citizen, this is pretty bad. In the future, since this is just an alpha, I'm hoping they add a lot of content that makes it so that this isn't as bad of a problem. So even though this is probably the worst offender for Star Citizen right now, I think it's a result of it being in an alpha and not actually a malicious game design or whatever. So at the end of the day, I see the reasons why people push back on Star Citizen being a pay-to-win game, even though I still believe it very much is so. It's because you throw it in a category with something like Lost Ark, which is horrible game design decisions that make the game worse overall so that they can squeeze more money out of you, essentially. And from what I understand, Lost Ark isn't, most people consider it not a very bad pay-to-win game. They consider it a pretty well-balanced pay-to-win game, and not like super just trying to steal your money. Coming from somebody who doesn't play a lot of pay-to-win games, when I go there and I see the design decisions made to force you into spending money, I can see how Star Citizen doesn't feel like that. Star Citizen does not feel like they are maliciously pushing you to spend money most of the time from the gameplay. Now, maybe their marketing or something you could say isn't the greatest, and it kind of makes you feel like you have to buy, but if you actually play the game doesn't force you to, from game design decisions, to buy ship. As a matter of fact, Star Citizen almost does the opposite, because you almost ruin your gameplay by buying ships, because you lose goals and stuff to work towards, and you only can jump in and be like, oh, let's take some screenshots with my cool ship, or let's go, I bought a cool bounty hunting ship, let's go do a couple bounties. Oh, well, I don't really have any real reason to do bounties now that I already have the ship I want. Or if you want to go mining. Now, well, I get to skip foot mining and rock mining, and I jump straight to ship mining, but I don't really have anything I want to earn with ship mining. Like, you've pulled progression and gameplay out of the game, so it seems like Star Citizen doesn't, from a game design perspective, it does not have anything in the game that's maliciously designed to make you go to the website and buy ships. The marketing could be a whole different story, but from the gameplay and design perspective, it does not force you to buy credits or buy ships in the current state of the game. So anyway, I want to thank you all for watching the video. I hope you all enjoyed, and I want you to tell me what you think of the pay-to-win aspects in Star Citizen. Does it feel different than other games? So should it have like its own category? Should we make a category for games that feel like Star Citizen, where it's not maliciously designed in the game to waste your time so that you spend money, or make it so that you can't do stuff without spending money? Something along those lines. Or do you think Star Citizen's just a disgusting pay-to-win game and you want no part of it? Let me know in the comments.